Hi everyone, it's me Nikki here with this week's home tips, so let's jump right in. So does everyone dislike ironing as much as I do? I mean, that is just one of the tasks I do not enjoy doing. And so any tips that I can find to help me in that area, I am game for listening to. And so I saw online this tip that said if you take aluminum foil and you line your ironing board under your cover with the foil, it makes ironing easy because basically you're ironing both sides of your garment at one time because the heat, when the heat hits the foil, it kind of, heats the foil and helps it to kind of iron out your shirt or whatever you're ironing. So I said, you know what, I would give this a try, but I was a little skeptical because my ironing board cover is a little thicker and I'm like, well, about time the heat gets to the foil, I'll be done ironing my shirt. And so I wanted to give it a try, but not wasting foil. I just did a portion of my ironing board, the back half here, and I said I would give it a try. And if it did do anything, then I would definitely put a piece of foil under my cover. And so I put the foil under the cover, put the cover back on. I then took my shirt, and what I'm going to do is I ironed one half of the shirt with the ironing board that had the aluminum foil under the cover. And then I took off the aluminum foil and I ironed the other half of the shirt with just my cover to see if I noticed anything easier or any difference. So here I'm ironing the part with the foil. So the foil is under the cover and just going at the shirt as normal. And it did iron both sides, but that's typical for this shirt here. It's a very easy shirt to iron, but it just went through both sides. So now I'm going to remove the aluminum foil, put my cover back on, and iron the other side with just simply the cover on it. And I tell you, when I did this, I really have to be honest and say it didn't yield any different results. But again, I think my cover was too thick for the foil to even get warmed up. I'm not really sure. But, you can give this a try if you want. I don't think I will put foil under my cover because I don't think it really serves a purpose for me. If you did give this a try, please let me know how it turned out. I'd be curious to see if anyone else had different results. So do you ever go to mail off something and then remember, oh my goodness, I forgot to put this in the envelope, and it's all sealed, stamped, addressed, and you wish you could just open it back up and put whatever it is you need to put in there? I have done this before. And so I read a tip that if you basically just put the envelope, the sealed envelope, in the freezer for 30 minutes, you're able to then open the envelope and put whatever you want to put back into the envelope. So I said, well, if this works, that would be okay. The time factor was a little bit of an issue for me because I don't have patience when I'm trying to mail things off. And so I just basically tested it out. I put a piece of paper into an envelope, sealed it up, and I'm going to put it in my freezer for 30 minutes. I set my kitchen timer for 30 minutes to remind me to go get it out my freezer because I could tend to forget. And what I noticed is that on one side, it did lift up pretty easy, so it wasn't bad. But when I got to the V point in the envelope, the center, it was a little tight, so I had to pry it a little bit. But for the most part, it does release it slightly so that you can open it up. The thing about this tip is I don't know how useful it would be to me because I'm the type of person when I am addressing things and mailing things out, I'm ready to roll and get it in the mail. So the putting it in the freezer for 30 minutes and waiting and having to remember to get it out and all that kind of stuff may not work for me. But hey, it may work for someone out there, and I wanted to share this tip. Okay, so all of my mommies out there, you may appreciate this tip. Has your little Johnny ever got a hold of your permanent marker and decided to make your leather sofa his art canvas? If so, this tip may work for you. Now, I don't encourage you at all to try this tip. This is just in case you get in this situation. This may be a remedy for you, but don't give this a try. And so I'm not going to write on my leather sofa, of course. So I have this faux piece of leather fabric from a different project that I had worked on. And so I'm going to use this to test it out and see if it works on this. And so what I basically did is I took the permanent marker and I just kind of wrote anything on it and just to kind of give it a try. And what I wanted to do is let it sit for a while so that the ink would dry a little bit, because I'm sure you won't find little Johnny's artwork right away. You may, but you may not. And so then after letting it dry for a while, I sprayed my cotton swab with the hairspray and it wiped it right up, really with ease. It took a lot of that ink up. Now, of course, with lighter leathers like mine, like ivory and white, it is going to be almost impossible to totally get it up to where you can't see it. But if you have darker leathers, I can, really see this working so that you really can't see it as well. You might know it's there, and if you really look close, you might be able to see it. But if you have darker leather, you might be able to get away with this to get a lot of it up. But of course, with lighter leather, it's just not gonna get totally it up. So I wanted to try it with a ballpoint pen also, because a few years back, we had company over and they had a little boy. He got a hold of a ballpoint pen and he went to town on my brown leather. Not my nice sofa I have now, but a few years back I had a beautiful brown leather sofa and he had fun with it. And so if I knew about this tip, this could have helped me in this situation. So I did the same thing. I sprayed hairspray on a little cotton swab, and then I started wiping away. And I have to say, it came right up. I mean, even on the lighter leather, it took a lot of it up. So I definitely see this as working. So definitely pull out that hairspray if you're ever in a situation where you have ink on your leather. So I do these home tips every week, these home tips video where I kind of look online and see different tips and I try them out with you. And for my new subscribers, if you join my Facebook page, and I'll put a link in the description box below, it's just At Home with Nikki on Facebook. You can see these tips ahead of time. We talk about them and then kind of have a build up until the video comes out every week. And so I also want to encourage you to go to the playlist. I'll link that below for all the previous home tips videos that I have done. I have a collection of home tip videos ready for you to watch and enjoy, and I hope you will find them helpful and enjoyable. I want to say hi to everyone, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for watching, and this is Nikki saying goodbye.